Yes. We're at 6,000 kilobits. We'll see how this works. Okay. Showing up. Oh. Okay, one's starting soon. Sorry if you can't hear me. I'm still getting things set up because I'm actually trying to set up multi-streaming, but welcome Unchecked and Melissa. Also, I can hear my voice. This hurts my soul. Oh, you can't see you see a black screen. Let me put this to talk. Does this work? Awesome. At least you can see a screen now. Yeah, I'm still setting. I'm not used to. I'm not used to setting all of this up with the links and things. But at least you can see stuff and things. I'm so happy to be back at CraftWorks, though. I have been. but I wanted to just pop in and say hi while I'm getting things sorted, because I know I don't have a timer. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright sunny days. Awesome. This is my talking screen, but normally there'd be a camera there, but I don't use a camera and I don't have anything set up. But at least you can see stuff and things. Shouldn't be so difficult for me, but it is. Okay, okay. There, we sent that there. That worked. Awesome, awesome. Love to see it. Oh. Gotta send it in all the Discords. Some Discords that I know I could send this into, but it feels weird because I'm not as active in those Discords. So it feels weird to just be like, oh, by the way, here's my streams. When people don't know me, but you know. I think that was everything. Put that down. Bit rate is lower than recommended bit rate. Oh, but it looks fine. We recommend that you stream 13,500. That's high. And also, hey, son, welcome. Impressive timing. Indeed. Okay, I think I have everything set up. I am going to... Oh, by the way, can you guys hear music in the background? Like, can you hear Minecraft music in the background? I actually have it set up through Spotify, but I don't know if you can hear it because of the tab that I'm in. Oh no, you can't. I would have to do it through the starting screen, but if I go to the starting screen, I can't talk. 15 SS, that's awesome. Also no, okay. Just me. It was there before I started talking. Okay, awesome. So it's working in the starting screen. That's awesome. I should probably get it. I should probably duplicate it and put it into the talk screen. Reason. Well, oh, I wonder if I should set it up in what's it called? I wonder if I should set it up in the game screen also. I don't usually run music at the same time because for me it's mentally distracting. I'm gonna turn that off because it's still playing in my ear. Then that, no, this, awesome. It was there before you started talking. Awesome. Is this tab? I can see it in this tab, but I can't see what's happening. So I'm gonna keep that tab that way. Okay, awesome. Pardon if I'm slower to reply because I had to rearrange my screens and what I see where. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that again, which I know. Rearranging things. I want it to feel like all the screens are kind of in the right place. I have YouTube open and OBS, and why can I hear myself? Oh, that's why. That stream still had volume. I had Twitch and YouTube swapped on my screens, and it felt weird because usually people are on Twitch. So I have YouTube on my right side now. But that's beside the point. Let's see. Want to make sure we can hear stuff and things. We can hear the crunch. I'm gonna increase the volume on my stream to see how loud the crunch is. It's a little low. Not extremely loud, but I can hear it. Yeah, I want it a tiny bit louder, and I actually think I want myself a little bit quieter. Okay, I think that's good. Awesome. It's been a while since I've been here, and I'm so excited. So, okay. Updates. I should start with those. So, I shouldn't look at these signs because I don't know if that's going to be in a video, but that's for something. This is the storage room that Lane built when I was away on vacation, which was quite a while ago. But this is the entryway, which he recently did, and I absolutely love that he did it because it was taking me a while to get around to this. And this is the monorail building, or just, well, this is the inside of the monorail building. Let me F1 for here. Like, when it's raining. I can't. Okay. This is the inside of the monorail building. I do actually have something planned for the inside of the monorail building. I'm gonna... This is the schematic. I have things planned. Oh, shoot. Ah, gosh darn it. I just realized that I don't have the right schematic here, I don't think. Unless there's... Oh no, there's only a section of it. Okay, let me do this again. Awesome. No, this is still not the updated schematic. There should be something up here. But I have an interior planned for here, and I'm super excited. I do have to get the materials though. But that's not the only update I have. I have been building things. I need to grab more rockets. I've used so many rockets, but it's okay because I love rockets. I love being able to fly, and I'm gonna miss being able to fly. Select touch ease. Ease. Oh, I also changed my skin back to my normal, like, spring summer skin. Yes, I'm so ready for interior. Oh, Blaze chicken. Yes. No offense to anyone else, but Blazer, do you know how hard it is to make a cool build for Singular Chunk, knowing that you are just lose stress factor? So, you know what? I think I might pop into the creative world just to see if I can show you some of the things I've been working on, because this is actually about something I'm gonna put specifically in this world. I hope to get to it, which is why I'm still streaming. I want to make sure that I kind of oh, sorry, that's fine. I want to make sure that I complete all the things that I have planned. So I actually had a video planned, and I was so excited to like put it all together. And I had so many things planned for the video, and I had like little bits and funny things. Like I swapped over my storage from, actually let's go start there. I swapped over my storage from my original house, and now it's in lanes in my storage. And I had a whole bit of like, you know how when you're moving out and you don't realize how much junk you have. And so you start like pulling things out and you're like, why do I still have this? Why is it like, you just start questioning why you have so much stuff, how you fit all of it in one space, and like, why do I have all these miscellaneous things? And then there's something that is really important, and you found it like behind the couch, and you're like, bruh, I've been looking for this for so long. So like, I had the walls of barrels over here, and I had like piles of shulker boxes and barrels and miscellaneous items that you're just like, why do I even have this? And I mean, there was banners on the wall, dragon heads, miscellaneous blocks that you're just like, why do you have this? And then I like shifted one of the barrel walls halfway, and I stuck a netherite block behind it as like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this forever. Like, I was so excited to do that whole bit, and it just never happened. But, because, well, that's how moving is. So, it didn't happen, but yes, I moved my stuff out of, this is my, I guess I should, Sunrays, you haven't seen the server, and, well, there's a lot to see. This is Whiff's build, but those mushrooms over there, that's my starter base, and this CraftWorks logo is Spawn, which I actually made for my trailer. This was what I had in my trailer. I love the trailer that I made, and I know it's like only like 2 minutes long, but it makes me so happy because I spent over a week on it, and it was just, I loved how it turned out. We got some parkour over here, we got the pathways. Anyway, point is, starter base. This is my starter base. It is mostly aesthetic. It really is. So this, there's so many cool people that are, so many cool builders that have, it makes me so happy. I'm so happy to be back. It's been so long. Okay. One track. That was my starter base. I moved my stuff all the way to our storage room. I have the interior plans. What did I do next? The next thing I did, which I'm gonna try to avoid, it's kind of difficult to avoid the one glaring thing over here, but we'll try. Actually, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You're gonna see it. It's actually the smaller thing that I'm here to look at. This is our nether portal for the solar punk mountain, and I love it. My goal was to use purpur and make it look cool, and I think I accomplished that. And these like swirly things were supposed to be neodymium magnets. So is cool. I was gonna use, this was something I heavily considered using netherite blocks for, and I'm like, I'm not getting a stack of netherite blocks. I do not like, I was gonna need like everyone's help, and I'm like, that is not happening. I'm not putting people through that. So I did gilded blackstone and then made it like these cool orbity thingies. Also, part of the thing that inspired this was this like rainbow thing. I saw this on Pinterest and I was like, I must use it. Originally they were all like singular blocks, but I did 2x2s, and then I wanted to do like a pillar and a dome and this flower that's kind of sitting on top, that's kind of sitting on top of the nether portal, and then we got the things dangling down and like the little stamens and whatever part of the flower. It needed something going on, and I wasn't, I took a screenshot, whoopsie. Oh, and I also don't have a bed on me because I have it set up all the way out this way. Minecraft opens the doors to so many awesome people and creations. The builds really look cool. Thank you. Yeah, people are insane. They are good at building, and I'm so happy. I love me. This this, Melissa, is what I was talking about. These grain like beams that come out the glass. This is the thing I was referring to, that like right at the crack of dawn, it just goes like all the way across. It doesn't last long, but this was the thing I was trying to show you on the creative server the one day. Are just these green beams that go from one side of the room to the other, and it looks really cool. But yeah, it could be that the other colored lighting was the issue. It could be that the new colored lighting won't allow that to happen. But I love it so much. Anywho. Next thing I built, this is another portal that I tried to make purple look cool, and it's super colorful. I didn't realize how nice purple, prismarine, and nether quartz looked together. This, my friends, is the thing that I have spent so long working on that I'm gonna probably have to go into free cam to see this, because, well, it's a massive build and it's really hard to see. Okay, we'll be here. Jeez. This is the skyscraper that I have referred to, plus the beach. I worked on the beach for quite a while, and then I made this kind of... Actually, I should down my FOV just a little bit so it's easier to see. I know I put my FOV really high, but this is the skyscraper. Has really big windows and like the palm trees and the windmills at the top. And then we have these like kind of like apartment buildings, and these are actually on both sides. I was gonna make 8 of them, like these 4 and then another 4. I love that building so much. I love this building so much also. This took me so long. It is definitely one of those buildings that I was like, this took me months to put together, and I look at it and I'm like, that doesn't look so fun looking. That's how I build. I want things to look like fun. I've tried building things that look real, and I don't know why, but my brain is like, this feels unnerving. Why do I want to make something that I could see in real life? Like, I want to build things that I wouldn't normally see. Wind turbines, yes, we have wind turbines on the top and on both sides. I cannot wait to finish my build. That it already looks awesome. I'm super excited to see when that turns out. I know the things you're working on are particularly I don't want to say time consuming, but yes, it would be time consuming, is time consuming, but I want to say tedious, maybe? Does it? It's rather difficult. I think it'll be worth it. I mean, at the end of it, you'll be like, you're probably gonna be like, I don't want to do that ever again. Lesson learned. But I think by the end of it, you'll be like, but I'm happy with how it turned out. This building is kind of one of those where I'm like, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I want to build more things like this, but I do not want to build on this scale soon. Like, if I build... This is only a potential... Oh, definitely. I have massive regrets. I'm not gonna lie, when you said you wanted to build the thing that you wanted to build, I was like... I was intimidated by it for you, but that's more because I don't have as much experience with those things, and to be fair, I have had ideas that run similar lines, but I never actually got to those projects because mentally I was like, this overwhelms me. But again, we all learn our lessons. Sometimes we learn it the hard way. Oh, I'll show you the shopping district too, because I did a little bit of work in the shopping district. Is the stream really stuttery on your side? It's kind of stuttery on my side, but I don't know if that's because I have so many tabs open and shopping trip. Yeah. Actually, that reminds me, I should really... Oh, and here's the nether portal, which, I mean, I still love the nether portal. This was not a sole project by me. This was me. Okay, awesome. Because I'm watching my stream on my computer, but I know that it could be that I'm in Minecraft, and so the internet browser that I'm using is just what's it called? It's like when you get out of Minecraft and like Minecraft will stutter if it's not playing, because basically it's saving you frames so that your computer can run more than one thing at once. It's like that, but the internet. Anyway, not the point. Point is, this nether portal was a collaboration between me, Lane, Wen, and E. There was actually a second part of this build that was just super overwhelmingly large that we were like, yeah, we're good with this part. Like, it would be super cool to do the other part, but I mean, like, I'm so happy with how this turned out. I have a guess as to what Mel's build is and why she regrets. I won't say though, I want to see if I'm right. Shh, secrets. Let me see if I can pronounce your name. Sabinia? Hello. Welcome. You're probably right, to be honest. I was trying not to be obvious. But shopping district. Oh, also, this is what Melissa did. She did a little piranha plant. It's so adorable. If you know, you know. Yeah, if you know, you know. So, oh, I just realized I haven't shown these shops either. So a bone to pick. That is a shop that I now sell things at. It's a little baby skeleton that I want to say something Robin. It's gonna bug me because love the path. Yes, that was the other thing. So oops, I just clicked F5. This path is supposed to be kind of like Mario. So the frog lights are the little yellow boxes. The nether brick are like the ones that have already been bonked with your head, and then the red bricks are just the normal bricks. And originally I wasn't going to add the granite in... Yeah, I wasn't going to add the granite originally because I had other plans for other paths, and I needed to make sure that the paths were distinct enough that you could tell the difference between them. I didn't end up going with that idea. Now I have like over 20 paths or something that are just brainstormed ideas that I am not using. But this is a bone to pick, little skeleton, and like the two pickaxes, which I want these pickaxes to make a return. I don't know why, but like something in my brain is like, I used so many blocks to make the pickaxe, but it just goes together so well. And I love it so much. But I sell bone blocks by the shulker box, which I think it's 2 diamond blocks for a whole shulker box. And I think it's 1 diamond for 1 stack of bone blocks. So, though, I think a lot of people already kind of have bone meal farms, so it's only if they need like a ton of it and don't feel like AFKing for it. But, oh, and this island is a mushroom island, so I don't even have to worry about going in during the night. I still have that pop-up shop. It's crazy that I haven't destroyed it, but at this point, it's like a historical market at this point. This is my cake shop. What did I call it? The crumb. Yeah. It's a big cake. Is a cake. Oh wait. Oh, I forgot that I didn't bring my bed.
I'm not quite sure how to help you.
Shush. Sorry. That was Oh, I just realized that if I say Izzy's name, that the thing right next to me is gonna... So we have one of those, like, dot things, and the name has been changed to something with a few Z's in the name. So I have a feeling that if I am ever like, oh, Izzy, da 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 da, the thing next to me might be like, I'm sorry, did you ask me something? And I would be like, no, please stop. Oh, anyway, not the point. Point is, the crumb. Oh, look, the stream elements thing did the thing. That's the fan Discord. The fan Discord's awesome. Everybody's super cool there. Super chill. Okay, where? Ah. Okay. To show you from the side, this is a Minecraft cake. I tried to do it kind of like pixel for pixel, but not make it too crazy. But then I went crazy with the icing and the, I guess, cherries on top is my guess. I really like how it turned out. That was this one was one of the builds I had pre-planned, and I knew that I wasn't going to sell much, but I was like, it makes me so happy. This is my honey shop, which I love. I never got flour. Oh no, I haven't done this in a while. Okay, so unchecked got dibber. Okay, let me see if I can do this. So now I have to say the horse's name. I have a horse, and his name is Dibber Dormer Forderdonner Gordon Todner Zipdel Flouden Odendorfen, and I have to say that 5 times fast. So let's see if we do that. Dibber Dormer Forderdonner Gordon Todner Zipdel Flouden Odendorfen, 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 Dibber Dormer Forderdonner Gordon Todner Zipdel Flouden Odendorfen. Okay. And I also have a redeem for one of my dog's names, which I guess I can show you that too, son, because that one's a funny one. I mean, I guess I also have a redeem for that one. I have a 1x one and a 5x one, and my goal for the 5x ones is actually to do it in one breath. I don't think I ever mentioned that. Like, I do it 5x, I try to do it 5 times fast, but I try to do it in one breath. Because for some reason I like to make my life challenging. Oh. Thank you. This is Mangroovy, which is supposed to look like that, like, wild looking cup, and it's supposed to be like a super funky, like that crunchy, hideous floor, and the lights are kind of dim. We got pool tables, a DJ station, and a dance floor. And then these are the supply closets that have leaves and mangrove, which I doubt anybody bought anything. I know a lot of people have been kind of chillaxing, resting, and fair enough, because I've been resting for quite a bit, but I need to get projects done. I'm at that point where I'm like, if I want to get all the things I need to do done, I need to be on top of it, and thus why I'm dual streaming. I'm like, must get projects done. I plan too many things. One of my favorites on the server, Mangroovy, it is wild. I 100% built it with the shaders in mind. It still looks good without shaders. It just has a very different feel. Like, with shaders, it reminds me of like the really crazy like arcade / roller rinks we have kind of near me. Without shaders, it reminds me of like a really rundown old wedding venue kind of thing. What was the other thing I built? Oh, there's another shop. I built another shop over here. That's what I was forgetting. I haven't gotten the pathway all the way down here because there's just a lot of paths to do. We got Sweeties, which is an ice cream truck. I cannot take full credit of this. This is very, very, very much a slightly simplified, slightly altered version of a truck that ice cream truck that I saw on Pinterest. So I cannot take full credit for this build. This was a very adorable build. I did make a few changes and simplify things because I tend to do that. If I have to use loads of banners, Also, that's more entities, but is there anything else? I think that was it. I've checked all my shops. This is kind of the shulkers for building the paths. What was the next thing? Banners, shivers. Yeah, I'll get there. I think one of the reasons why I don't like super get into using banners, the circus last season burnt me out on banners. I don't use them a lot because my brain is so like, I don't know, my brain is always in kind of like problem solver mode. So like if I am capable of not using entities, I want to try as much as I can, unless it's kind of like a key feature like this. Like we have shulker boxes here, which I'm sure somebody's going to fill these at some point. Yeah, I have shulker boxes here. These are technically entities, so if I go far away, they're going to disappear. Or Mangroovy building, that has a whole bunch of signs. But I try to keep it minimal. The one thing that I do use a lot of are paintings, though, because it just makes a room feel like a room. Like, it's probably one of the fastest, easiest ways for me to, like... Sorry, I have a cup near me and I hit it. It's probably one of the easiest ways to make a room feel like lived in. I think that was it. I think that was all I needed to update. My brain went through that so quickly. The thing that I'm working on. I need to chop down all of these trees. So I have most of them chopped down. That sounds awesome, but I'm sure it was difficult. Son, you have to see, she did like circus tents with like wool and banners, and it was really cool. Like, she did these tents were not like simple tents that you're like, oh yeah, they have like these really plain angles. They were tricky angles. She did, like it's kind of like a Hershey Kiss shape, but it's not a Hershey Kiss shape where like there's the center pole and it kind of droops down and then drops over the edges, but also it's not like the edges weren't straight lined, they were also slightly pitched. Like she chose a very tricky shape to build over and over again, and that was something where I was like, Melissa, you chose such a tricky shape to work with. This was actually before I was part of the season, when I was just watching, and I thought, I don't, my brain was like, so everyone, okay, season 2, it's not that there weren't large builds, but like everything felt like pretty manageable size. I kind of was just really excited and built lots of large things because I'm so excited, and that's how I am. I get way in over my head very easily, but I don't know. I think, Melissa, one of the episodes you were like, oh, I did this super simple shape, and I'm just thinking, bruh, that is not a simple shape. A simple shape is a box. Maybe a cylinder at best. A rectangle? This was like there was no simple easy way for me to be like, this is the shape that it was. I mean, like, sure, the top was kind of a cone and the bottom was kind of a cylinder, but it wasn't just a cone on top of a cylinder. Like, they had, like, you made it look like it was droopy but also stretched out, and then you took multiple shapes and like collided them together. That is not simple. That is not basic. Oh, just a second. I've been told that food is here for dinner. Today's a day that we do dinner a bit early. But anyway, back to it. I'm chopping down trees because I want to clear the area that I plan on building things, so then I can kind of smooth out some of the terrain to be, well, smooth, not so lumpy, a little easier to work with. I have a bunch of small houses that I built in creative that I wanted to take a schematic of and kind of play around with the placement, because what I want to build by this nether portal is sort of like a town. I'm getting more notifications and more notifications. Apologies. Oh, thank you, Sabina, for following. I'm so sorry. I don't know why that doesn't pop up for me. I think it used to, but it doesn't seem to anymore. But thank you very much. And welcome. Oh, that reminds me. I need to add that the lurk command. I don't think I set that up. Or if I did, it didn't work. What was I saying? I was having a conversation. Well, conversation. I guess technically it's commentary. Oh my goodness! What the heck? There's wolves still here? I didn't realize we still had wolves here. All the animals are coming out of the woodworks now that I'm destroying the forest. Oh, I remember. Okay. This is a sidetrack, and I know it's a sidetrack, but I am willing to go through the sidetrack because I want to. And it makes me happy. I'm just so excited to be here, and this is what happens. I'm super excited. Oh, I'm gonna show you all my pet wolves and Dibberdormer, Fordodonner, Gordon Totner, Zippelflouder, Odendorf. So this is my horse, Dibberdormer, Fordodonner, Gordon Totner, Zippelflouder, Ordendorfen. You can barely see it. Well, I guess you can more easily see it on my screen. Can't see his whole name because some of it's transparent because of his face. But we got Blueberry, S'more, Crumb, Toast, Cupcake. I didn't name the parrots. Doobit, Kapatofava Goddardon Fagnerharder Fittenheimen, and Jerry. And then we got a frog here that Lane put in my house in like the first episode, and he hopped up there and he has not left ever since. Just like real life, coyotes started showing up in my backyard back in Washington because they were cutting down so many trees and stuff for more houses. Yes, that's some horse. Adorable. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is a horse. Yep. I also have an LA in here. I have loads of sniffers under here. Actually, didn't show the farms I still have down here. Like, this is flowers for bone meal. This is the mud maker. So I put dirt in here. I grab a whole bunch of shovels, and this makes dirt into mud. This is my kelp smelter. These are the sniffers, which have an automatic collecting system, which is full at this point because I have more than enough torch flowers. I have every single dye, and most of these are like almost full, except for the white dye because we use a bunch of white dye. And Jerry, yes, and Jerry. This is the sea pickle, quote unquote, farm. Basically, I just bone meal this, and it multiplies, and then I grab the extras. Oh, and this is the collection system for the cactus farm that I have way too many cactus now. But I needed it for green dye and cyan dye and lime dye. And Jerry, yeah, that was the whole bit. Was I don't know if that ever made it in a video, but basically I was like, look, I got one of every single dog. Here's Blueberry, S'more, Crumb, Toast, Cupcake, Doobit, Kapatofava Goddardon Fagnerharder Fentelheimen, and Jerry. I don't know if that ever made it in a video, but that was the whole bit. I planned that months ahead of time. I was like, I don't think I had all the names in my head set up, but I had like a few names. I knew the concept of the bit that I wanted to do, and it was basically have a bunch of like cute, simple names, have one that's like kind of strange, but you're like, okay, and then the next one just be a super long name that you're just like, what the heck, and then the last name being like super simple, super basic, and you're just like, that's kind of where your brain loses it, because it's like, it's not that the one name was weird, the second name was really long, it's the fact that the last name was super simple and super basic, and it's just like, that was a roller coaster of emotions. So it like, I don't know, my brain was like, this is a perfect setup for a joke. You get people in the false sense of security that everything is going to be normal and themed, then you throw in a wrench and you're like, oh, that's kind of strange, followed by, oh wait, that's really strange, by, that's so normal, what? Gives you kind of like whiplash intentionally. Oh, that happens sometimes. I'm like, oh, I have an idea for a joke that I think will be really funny, and I plan it like way ahead of time. They don't always work out, but my intention's there. Anywho, chopping down a forest. This is what I need to do for the village that I want to put around the portal. I want it to I want it to feel like distinctly different than the the skyscraper, but I still want it to feel like I want the skyscraper to be kind of like a beachy feel. I haven't done the terrain, but I still want it to be kind of like a beachy feel. And this I kind of want to feel like I can consider it like suburbs. Oh look, the merch thing worked too. We got merch. We got cups. I was gonna say plates. We don't have plates. We have mugs, travel mugs, shirts, sweatshirts, stickers, water bottles, water bottle, one. Stickers. I think we have some hats and beanies. Why am I here? My brain isn't following. My brain's trying to do too many things at once. Stickers, mouse pads. We have a lot. And we have like multiple different types. And they all come in like different colors. I know a lot of the shirts are 100% cotton, which I will say, if you decide to get it, I highly recommend a size larger than you normally would, just because I've actually gotten the brand of shirt and sweatshirt before. It's like, so it's a really like durable cotton, like a heavier. Oh yeah, and we have the heavy metal one. Yeah. Got one heavy metal, Quasi Wook, which if you don't know, you'll probably find that out eventually what that is. It's a whole bit that Melissa started. It just became an earworm. It was, no one intended on it happening, but it happened. Now everyone, when something happens, we're just like, Quasi Wook. Oh, we have CraftWorks stuff. Anyway, sidetrack. A lot, but not all of the shirts and stuff are 100% cotton, which is really cool. And the shirts are like durable. Like they're not like the thin material that wears out really quick. But because it's a thicker material, definitely recommend like a size up, at least for things like shirts. And if you like cozy sweatshirts, possibly even 2 sizes up. And we have extra large sizes. It did happen. My dad eventually started to saying Quasi Wook. Melissa, what have you done? What have you released upon the world? It's unstoppable. It's gonna make it to the edges of the earth. I don't know. It genuinely would not surprise me if it somehow made it to the hermits, because of how it's like it gets into your brain, dude. Quasi Christmas at the CraftWorks commune. He's so cool. The idea of a CraftWorks commune is so fun to me. I know some friends in real life have mentioned it before too. They're like, it'd be so cool. I'm like, it would be. But of course, I'm the one that life is super weird, and I'm like, you're gonna be waiting on me if the plan is to have me there, you're gonna be waiting on for a while. Cause life likes to be crazy. It likes to have its own plans. Oh, that would be so cool. Catch me blazing Ted in the gardens. Oh, see, I love gardening. Unfortunately, one of the things that's become really hard is actually being outside a lot. Like, I used to be able to stay outside in like 80-90 degree heat easy all day. I'd be drenched in sweat, but like I could do it, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was tired, I needed to hydrate, you know, I was definitely hungry afterwards, as hard work does to people's. But like, I could do it. It wasn't easy, but I could do it on like every few days or so. Like, I would work hard. Now I spend 15-20 minutes outside and I feel like I want to pass out. It's okay. I'll do the hard work. You can help me harvest and water. Oh, watering. Fortunately, I live in an area that a lot of times I don't have to water. Given that it's a good year. Like, it generally rains frequently enough that I don't have to water too much. But some years are super dry and brutal, but most years are pretty, like, it rains enough. I will say that one thing I wanna look into is perennials. I want to look into perennials because yes, they're work, and they take time to set up, but you can get perennials set up. It's not as bad, and you get fruit like a lot. The storms last year messed me up. That is fair. We've had some like hurricanes and whatnot happen too. I mean, I had like plants completely decapitated. Though I will say I got really fortunate because that didn't happen to many. Like, even though we lost, like, a lot of plants lost some limbs, it was mostly tomato plants that, like, I don't know, the whatever I was using broke. Like, I had like wood furring strips when they used to not cost a ton, and like it had been used for a few years. It was a section that had a knot, so it was a section that was actually brittle compared to the rest of it, since it like shrunk and expanded and cracked and whatnot, and so it just like snapped in half. Yeah, my tomatoes completely snapped and a lot of stuff drowned. Yeah, I think the way that I set up my garden was more fortunate because they're not totally raised beds, but they're kind of like the soil that they're on is on like a tiny bit of a hill, basically. Like, the whole growing space at the edges, it kind of slants down. It's not like a hugel culture bed. It's not like that. That kind of reminds me of it. Like those are like much more slanted, but it's basically like took a cut of soil in a kind of square shape. Over time, the sides kind of flatten out, but the benefit is, like, if it does rain too much, it's gonna land somewhere like the paths, because water takes the path of least resistance. So I don't necessarily have to worry about them drowning. We have solid clay, so it is kind of really important. It's also why I don't necessarily want to plant them too deep. Like, it's okay if I plant them deep, because then they'll be able to access like the clay soil, which has lots of nutrients since it does retain so much. But it's more important that the stuff above drains really well, because then once it reaches the clay, it's gonna kind of pass across the clay bed, I'll say, as a really rough description. Like, it will meet the most resistance once it hits that level. Oh dang, yeah, storms are rough. Yeah. I will say though, even though I did have some damage on the ones where they were on cattle panels, they probably sustained the least amount of damage because of just how sturdy cattle panels are. My brain is trying to speak too quickly. But the cattle panels are cattle panels for the win, really. I would definitely use those again. 100% worth the investment. They really are, and timing was just terrible. Like, I need to get my seedlings in the ground, but we had a week of storms, and like, the heck, man. Yeah. This year I've yet to plant anything, but I also know that I didn't plan on I couldn't plan a garden at this. I think it planning the garden collided with like Suffer Together or something. I was like, I am at max capacity. There's no way I can mentally plan a garden right now. And actually, I don't think it was just planting a garden. I think I was also gonna have to start the seedlings, and I'm like, nah, because then I have to clean out the closet that I have because I have a bunch of stuff in it, which usually happens because it's where I grow my seedlings. So like the supplies go there, but also it's kind of the catch-all place, unfortunately. I was like, I don't have the capacity to do all the things necessary for those seedlings. I'll get there again though. But yeah, I maybe have space for herbs in my apartment now, which makes me sad. Yeah, I understand. I think when I didn't have a garden, actually this was before I even had a garden, what I did all the time was I had a window. We had a window in our kitchen and our dining room, I guess, technically, because it had a sliding door. I would take plastic bags and napkins. I would wet the napkins. I would place a whole bunch of seeds. And then I would label them with the date, tape them to the window, and I would just like sprout seeds over and over. Eventually, they would literally just go in the trash because I don't think I had an actual place that I could put them. But I did that over and over again because I just found it so fascinating to like take seeds from, I don't know, like miscellaneous fruit we had, and understanding that like some seeds need to, good gracious, I've been chopping trees and I feel like I hardly made a dent. Anywho. It was interesting to find out like some seeds needed to go through a cold period, so you'd have to stick them in the fridge first before you can put them in the sun, because that's what triggers their like environmental response that like, oh, now it's time to grow. So things like lavender, apples, that kind of thing. Yeah, I did that with pepper seeds last. I'm trying. I should not be reading chat and flying at the same time. That is so dangerous. I think I might pick up this bed just so I don't waste as many rockets. Yeah, I did that with pepper seeds last year. They're still alive, but we lost a few in the winter. Yeah. Peppers don't like winter and freezing. Look at where you're flying. Yeah. I love harvesting marigold seeds, so satisfying. They are so fun, and yeah, those are fun to harvest, because, like, the pod gets all dry, and you can just, like, take the tufts and just pluck them all out. And sunflower seeds, yes. I love sunflower seeds. I know that technically you can harvest the sunflower heads, like, really young, and then pan fry them and eat them. I don't know if the one that I ate was of the appropriate maturity level, and so it was kind of strange to eat. Do I have regrets? Maybe. I don't know. I'm glad I tried it, but I think I did it wrong. I think it was just the spot that it was in. It was like a little too mature for what I should have been pan frying. You're supposed to do it like when they're like pretty soft and pretty young, but that can get tricky because then the center is like not fully. I've seen those flower steaks, interesting to say the least. Yeah, it's a very different texture. I can say that. I don't think I did it with the right variety. And the location of the sunflower was on a section of the garden where the sunflowers don't tend to get as large. So it could have been that it was more mature than I thought it was. Because one, the flowers don't grow as large. Two, it was in a spot that even large sunflowers tend to stay a bit smaller because it doesn't get as much sun. So it probably was further along than I suspected it to be for eating. But you know, lesson learned. It was interesting. I don't think I would necessarily go for it as a food source. I would probably rather try and make sunflower seed oil out of it if I was going to do any of that. Mammoths are probably the best for that, I think. Yes, I have grown those. I don't think usually they get as large as they could be getting, but this was definitely not a mammoth sunflower. This was just one that at the time I was like, oh, I think this is at the right stage. And I had it, and I was like, that was an interesting experience. I'm glad I did it, though. You know, never know if you don't try. It's like that, and purslane's good. That's more of like, that's really good as a green in a salad. I like those. Purslane is good. What else? There's something else. It reminds me of, like, you know, the four-leaf, like, clover, like the clovers. It looks similar to clovers, but it's, at least the ones in my area aren't as large as those. Can't remember the name of the plant, but it does have those kind of leaves, and it's like really tangy and kind of fruity. It's super good. I love it. I would love to like make a tea out of it or something. I know somebody made like a lemonade out of it, which is also why I would so want to try like sumac, not the poison kind, the like native kind that's super tangy, and make like a sumac lemonade. Yum. Sounds so good. Okay, I need to drop a whole bunch of stuff off. My inventory is full. We're getting there, though. But yes, there's so many things, like, it's a lot of, I really want to get into like native plants. Do not make tea out of it. Tea is icky. Sorry, a tincture. Technically, it would be considered a tincture because it's not from a tea plant, but You know what it is. You know what I mean. It's a colloquial term to mean something steeped in hot water that is flavored. I actually do like tea. It's not, obviously it's not the same as coffee, but I like tea. I usually like things like hibiscus. That's another thing. I would love to grow roselle, because that's a type of... My brain is blanking. Roselle is a type of hibiscus, and it, I think, is the hibiscus that they use for hibiscus tea. Coffee is steeped, and it's not tea. Yeah, so this would... Well, but you would consider it brewed, and it's toasted, but also tea in different types is toasted also, just in a different way at a lower temperature because of black tea. Coffee is steeped and not tea. Wait, do you not like that flavor or tea, or just tea in general? Tea in general, green tea, black tea, pretty much. See, I do like tea, but to be fair, I don't usually have it pretty plain. Like, I like matcha, I like chai, but that has lots of spices. I like... But then I kind of like hibiscus. So that's where I probably shouldn't call it tea. It's more of a tincture technically, because it would have like fruit and other plants and things. It wouldn't actually have tea in it. So when I say make a tea out of XYZ plant that's not a tea plant, technically I mean a tincture. A brewed drink from a plant that is not tea, but I consider it a tea. It's like oh, sorry. What is it? Sweet basil tea? Oh, sweet basil tea is really good. But you have to make sure that you brew it from basil that hasn't gone to seed. I am quite convinced that it is probably the most surefire way to know whether or not your basil is bitter or not. Because you brew the leaves and then you add lemon and sugar. It's like super... Oh, sun tea, that's what I'm thinking of. Basil sun tea, that's what they called it. That's really good. I mean, I guess technically if you're using hot water, it's not sun tea, because sun tea, I think, is supposed to be brewed by the sun. But the point is, I really like sun tea, sweetened basil sun tea. But it's also a really good way to know whether or not your basil's bitter. Oof, did you like regular lemonade? Ooh, like, oh, love lemonade. Like a really good balanced lemonade. Love it. One of my favorites, strawberry basil lemonade with basil from the garden. It is so good. Basically, you just make a syrup, like a concentrate syrup, and then add it to lemon juice and water. So good. I love it so much. It's not as herbal as you would think it would be. All kinds of lemonade, just not Palmer. Oh, I love Autumn Palmer though. I like Autumn Palmer because probably part of the reason is having too many acidic things kind of wrecks my stomach. So I have to be careful. Like, I used to love, I mean, I still love oranges. I love oranges. I love citrus. And basically any other food that's acidic. It's just one of, like, my favorite flavors, or, like, tangy, sour, fruity, those kind of things. Though I do like myself some umami, savory things. Which I don't know why it bugs me, but my brain is always like, but I don't know. Okay, this is gonna be a side tangent. All kinds of random not orange I can't do. I am not a fan. It makes me sick. When I was a kid, I would have so many oranges that I would get mouth ulcers. Like, and so I had to be really careful with how much I would eat or drink in terms of like acidic things, because that's what would happen, and it was not fun. So, but it's one of my favorite kind of flavors. Anyway, the side tangent I was going to go on. I don't know if this is me just misunderstanding, but I don't know why my brain has always, you know how people will say like, oh, the fifth or sixth flavor, I think it's technically a fifth flavor, was discovered, and it was umami. And I don't know if this is me just lacking in technical knowledge, but my brain was always like, but isn't that what savory means? Are savory and umami not the same things? Like, I would consider meat to be savory, tomatoes to be savory. Like, it's not just, oh, salt is salty. Like, I wouldn't, sure, I would more generally use it to be like, you use it in a savory food. I mean, you use it in a sweet food, and salt can contribute to something leaning towards the savory side because it's not sweet, but both salt and sugar are flavor enhancers. So an MSG is a flavor enhancer, but at the end of the day, even though umami is a great word for it, my brain is always like, but isn't umami just savory? I don't know. Maybe I'm just the only one that's thought that, where like people are like, oh yeah, people in someone in Japan like actually like broke down what this flavor was, which again I think is really cool. But when we call it umami, I'm kind of like, but we could also just call it savory, because that's what it describes. Tomatoes, soy, fermented foods, a lot of those kind of have glutamate in them, which again is like that savory flavor, like something that is, I don't know, maybe I'm just the only one, maybe I'm the only one, you know? Things, sometimes my brain just doesn't understand. I'm just like, but why? I have no explanation. And the explanation is like, just cuz, and I'm just like, you know what, just cuz is not good enough for me. Every time you saw that, it reminds me of Ross from Friends and unagi. Unagi. I am not familiar with said reference, but okay. I don't know. That was a side tangent. That was kind of unimportant. I think this conversation stemmed from, oh, I so want to get into like all the different like native food type plants to, oh, now I feel old. It's okay. It's more that I haven't seen friends. I know many people in my proximity, especially around in my generation, who have seen Friends and really love Friends. It is not something that I've seen or purposely pursued, because I there's other things that I like. I have spent so much of my time cooking and gardening, which probably at the age that I started was not normal for my generation, but as I get older, it's kind of morphing into like what people say, like grandma hobbies, not actually, but like, you know, people are getting into, before maybe less people were into sewing, and now they're like super into sewing and knitting, crocheting, uh, growing gardens, like all that kind of stuff. He tried to convince a couple of the other people on the show that unagi was a martial arts style of mind. Una. Okay. I think I understand. Are we there yet? We shot. No. We're actually relatively close, because I want to kind of end it where this cave is. I want to end it where the cave is, in kind of the mountain ridge over here. Kind of follow this direction. Even though, did I clear this area? Oh, I think that the reason this area is cleared out is I think originally I was going to put this building there, and then I decided to move it like way out here. So oh, maybe this section that's going to be tricky, because I don't know if this like really nicely slowly slopes down this way. Oh boy, what have I done? Anyway, sorry, sidetrack again. Native plants. I super want to get into like learning about all the different native plants and see what, and other things that are like super cold hardy. Like, I would love to grow things like kiwi berries, which I know are not native, but is a really cool plant that I don't know, I think it'd be really cool to have something that's kind of kiwi flavored, but it's also like a small adorable plant and amazing. But then like also more native stuff like pawpaws. And I think it's because my brain so naturally leans into like, I really love tropical fruits. Oh, what's the other thing? There's a type of fruit that it's sort of like a passion fruit, but it's cold hardy and actually produces fruit. Like, I know it's technically different. Like, I think it's technically a different plant, but it produces a similar looking flower to a passion fruit, but it's called something else. And I don't recall whether or not the flavor profile is quite the same. I also don't know if that one's native, but I know that one is closer to the top of my list. Also black raspberries, because I know those are kind of wild here. I love the fact that there's black raspberries. They look like blackberries, but they're definitely a raspberry, because the difference between the, well, a difference between a blackberry and a raspberry is, you know how it's like hollow on the inside, because basically that inside is like a piece of plant that the fruit is growing on, and then you can like take all of them off of that section of the plant, so they're like, there's no core to it. But blackberries, the way those ones disconnect are like from the top, and so technically like the little core bit is like very much connected still. I think technically it's a little bitter, but it's usually not super aggressive depending on the variety. Anywho, blackberries, raspberries. I would really love blackberry is one of the best flavors on the planet. I love blackberries. I will say I probably like raspberries more. Strawberries I do love. I'm not sure if my brain is in the place of like I want to put effort into strawberries, because I don't know if it's the same for all strawberries, but strawberries, I think, kinda, when you care for them, they produce strawberries every other year. So you kind of want a bunch of strawberry plants, and then, like, say you have 2 different beds, you would make sure that the one year that they produce, like the year that those ones produce, and then the following year a different bed of strawberries produce, so that way you have like staggered. Oh, that's cool. I knew there were golden raspberries but not black raspberries. Yeah, there's like, I've also seen the golden ones, but I know at least in my area we have wild black raspberries, and they're really good. I would probably say they might be a little sweeter than red raspberries. Like, red raspberries might be a little more tart, but it's been a while since I've had one, so I cannot confirm that. Unless it was more tart, and that was something that I remember being surprised about. Both are possible. But also, it's very different when you're... It could also have been that... How to explain? Sometimes things commercially grown don't have as much flavor, so it could have been that it was just, it had a stronger flavor because it was grown somewhere wild, and so it experiences more stress, and stress in plants usually mean the flavors are more condensed because they've had less water. But also, when things have to travel really far away, they kind of lose flavor. Or if they're harvested really early and then they ripen later because they're still not getting nutrients from the plant. That might not be for every plant though. Interchangeable. Strawberries are fun. I love planting the runners. Why do you prefer the running kind? I don't. Is there a different kind of strawberry than the runner kind? I've always thought they all produced runners. I do know that if I did grow strawberries, I would be very tempted to do it in a way that they could be planted kind of like... No, I was joking. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that took me that long to get the joke. I don't know, I prefer the jogging kind myself. Oh my goodness. But also like gooseberries, currants, black currants, that's something I really want to try. Because apparently those are really good. But at least in my area, I know there's... I would have to look up the local laws and stuff, but there's some areas where you're not allowed to grow them because they're... What is it? They're isn't a carrier? Secondary host? Basically, there's like a powdery rust for pine trees, and they're a secondary host where like they're not, it's not an invasive species, it's like they're a secondary host for a particular disease. The thing around here is huckleberry. Ooh, huckleberries are good. There's so many perennial fruits that I would really love to try. Because generally those are the things that I really gravitate towards because they're tart, they're sweet. Like, sure, there's a lot of them and it can be a pain, but I would much rather have something that I can come back to each year and like only every few years be like, oh, you know what? That, you know, these plants are going a little downhill, like let me propagate some or get more and kind of like interchange them, like, or like these plants are clearly, they've, you know, their production is declining, it's about time to kind of exchange them out. Ooh, and I want to grow asparagus. That's where my brain is like, I want to get into the perennial stuff because I haven't, because I know that's like definite space being taken up and it's not something that I can like replant if I decide that I don't, well, if I don't like it I could just remove it, but it can be more of an investment. It is, but I want to find things that I really like really like. From what I've learned, huckleberries are only able to grow wild. I haven't figured out how to grow them. That's so strange. I wonder why. I wonder why they haven't been able to. I'm not, maybe I'm thinking, oh no, I'm thinking of mulberries. I'm thinking of mulberries. I was like, I'm pretty sure I heard someone, they didn't really like, they didn't like domesticate the plant per se. It was more of like, they pruned the bush, because normally it grows into like a really tall kind of woody bush. They pruned it into a kind of tree shape, and then they kind of made the branches into like a horseshoe shape. So that way you could like you could harvest from the outside and like the inside of the horseshoe. Huckleberry gathering is an annual event around here. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look up huckleberry now because my brain is confused why I'm blanking on huckleberries. I know technically cranberries are like an area thing around here. I really do love cranberries, but I like them as cran raisins soaked in apple juice. Oh dude, that's so fun. It sounds fun. I know also blueberries grow pretty well out here. Though I do feel like sometimes the blueberries are really bland, and it could be just a variety thing that I'm not familiar with. Cranberries are great. They're great, good in oatmeal cookies. Oh my goodness. I know, Uncheck, you say you don't like oranges, but let me tell you, cranberry orange is one of the best combos, in my opinion. It is, I love it so much, so dearly. Though, I mean, usually it's the zest. I mean, I use the zest and the orange, but I also love oranges. But it's such a, because like they're both tart. Cranberry orange sounds amazing. It is so good. I also, even though I'm not a fan of white chocolate, I get why people like the combo of white chocolate with cranberry and orange, because oranges are like acidic and sweet, and then cranberries, even when unsweetened, are like really tart. Sorry, even when sweetened, are pretty tart. So I see that like white chocolate, you know, it's pretty sweet, so you have all of those balancing out. Generally, I do feel like many people overdo the sweetness, but white chocolate and raspberry too, yes. But I will say I'm not a huge fan of white chocolate, and it could be that I just haven't had really good white chocolate. Is very true. And pistachios? Oh my gosh, I love pistachios. That was also a side tangent. I keep trying to come back. Native plants. I want to know the native plants and learn to like grow and cook with those, because I don't know, so much food is like it comes from like so many corners of the world, which is super cool. Like I could have vanilla, which is such a wild thing to have, but at the same time I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm missing out on like native plants, because a lot of the like, what is it, sumac? Like sumac is a plant native to the US, but it's a super common spice used in, I was gonna say Arabic cooking, but that's not what I mean. Middle Eastern cooking. Like it's a common spice used in Middle Eastern cooking, and I'm like, wait a second. It's a spice native to the US and we just don't use it. Bruh. Also, there's juniper berries, which I'm really curious. I'm sure that'll be like super piney, kinda, because those plants are pretty like fragrant. But like, that's so cool. Like, although it's not like a familiar flavor to have, like having things that taste like you're eating a Christmas tree, like, okay, it might not be an acquired taste, but like there's other cultures with some flavors that I'm not familiar with. It's not super out of the ordinary to be like, well, this is a plant native to here, and it's, I guess it's a plant native to here and therefore a flavor native to here. But again, I'm that type of person that sees a challenge and I'm just like, yes, I want to do that. I want to take up that challenge and make good, tasty things with flavors that we're not familiar with. And kind of bridge the gap between like, I'm not familiar with this flavor and it kind of is strange to me because of different like associations. So like lavender, a lot of people don't like lavender because if it's too strong it tastes like soap, because it's a common thing to be used in soap and candles and lotion. So it makes sense that you're not always going to like it because you have a really strong mental association with like things like soap and lotion. So your brain is like, ew, why am I eating soap or lotion? Lavender latte goes crazy though. See, there's like there's ways to blend flavors that make things really good, and I think that is an exploratory thing that I really want to try, is like with native plants, even if the flavors are kind of not usually used, and some people would be like, well, that's really difficult because XYZ. Like, okay, cooking is really flexible. Baking is very much a science, so it's a little trickier. But like, when you're making flavors, I don't know. My brain is just, I think flavors and block palettes are like the thing that my brain does. Yes, now I've only had like one sip, but it was good. It sounds really nice. Because, okay, example. You know what? I don't think I've ever covered this before. So, how do I phrase this? So, a lot of times when I'm building things, I will look at blocks and I kind of break them into like how rough a texture is, the main colors it's made up, like the main color it's made up of, and then kind of like the secondary, tertiary, what I mentally I consider the secondary, tertiary colors in my brain. So like you have like the very, remember when we first got lavender at the coffee shop I used to work at? I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work, lol. Oh, was I wrong? Yeah. So, okay, so blocks. This birch log, it has white, gray, and black. So main principle of something I use in my brain is use another color that is quote unquote the same. So another block that is white, or white and gray, or white, gray, and black, or gray and white, or some combination of those. So basically, match to match is one idea. Like, use an array of white, gray, or black in conjunction. The other thing is, birch is also kind of pink. Like, if you look at some of these pixels here, like, it's kind of hard because I have shaders on, but like if you look really close, some of those are actually like kind of pink. So pink isn't a bad mix either. Especially if I strip the log, you'll notice that the log, it's super noticeable when you strip the log, but it's kind of a yellow tan, so it's technically brown, but it's much lighter brown. It leans way into the yellow side, but it's also kind of pink. And personally, I don't usually notice it until there's something else pink beside it. And I think it's these like undersides or something that's like particularly pink. Oh, absolutely, like pale wood. Yeah, like pale wood is really pink and white, but that's like more stark white. I see it as a transition block between white and black or gray. So that's kind of where my brain is at with block palettes. So if I take one block, I break it into like all these different components. Like this block is technically more noisy, quote unquote, because there's like really white and then really black. But it's not too noisy because they're really disparate compared to like, I don't know, cobblestone, or like it doesn't feel super, it's relatively smoothed out. If I were to run my hand across it, like it would feel like it's not super bumpy, is the only way I can explain it. Like it's like my eyes can feel the texture visually, even though feeling roughness and seeing roughness is different. That's pretty chill. Hello, Tark. So that's how my brain picks it apart, is like there's the main components of like the color and the texture, and then my brain is like, okay, what other blocks match one of these elements? Hydration check. Awesome. I have hydration. So that's where my brain goes. My brain goes to what are the components of this major like elements that are the most prominent, and then the things that are less prominent, and take like I might take pink. This might work better with like quartz or pale oak rather than say diorite, because, well, actually birch might actually work with diorite a little more because it's a little more gray, and that kind of blends better with calcite because calcite's fairly neutral. But the point is, there's like I also see the pink in the stripped birch, but also see gray. Putting cherry, birch, and tuff together is something I just figured out I like. Yeah, so that's where my brain is at when I'm thinking of like block palettes. Is there's main components that are like, it takes you like 1 second to look at and you're like, there's black, there's white, And then the secondary stuff is like, if you take a few more seconds to look at it, you're like, okay, it's also kind of gray. And then there's like the tertiary element. I'm using very vague terms, but the tertiary element where it's like, if you look long enough, you're like, I can kind of see that some of this is like pink and some of these elements are kind of yellow. So you have like tiers of like how easy the things are to pick up, and you have these layers. I do the same thing with flavors. That took a really long time to get to that point, but I do the same thing with flavors. So orange is citrusy, floral, sweet. Lemons, another type of citrus, are more floral, especially the zest, is more acidic and tangy. Not exactly sweet, like it's technically sweet. I wouldn't kid it, it's definitely not on the same level as orange, but it's also definitely not savory or salty. So it is on the sweet end. But I wouldn't say like, oh, lemons are sweet. I wonder if that's when you're trying to take, I wondered if that's where you're trying to take a conversation. Yes, so flavors then also have those elements where it's like they have multiple things going on. There's the really noticeable, the less noticeable, and like the kind of nuance type ones where you kind of get in the territory where varieties play kind of a really big part, because like tomatoes, like some of them are more acidic, some of them are more sweet, salty, savory, vegetal, smoky, savory. And so one of the weird combinations, I've mentioned this before, tomato marmalade is a marmalade that takes oranges, lemons, and tomatoes, and you like reduce it. Question: do colors have flavors for you, Blazer? I know that's a thing for some people. No. I mean, well, if if a color is very particular, then I could imagine it, like, but it would have to be like a really, really exact color, and it would have to be like a really strong association where it's like, I've never really seen that color unless associated with a particular food. And then that's where kind of things would cross, and it'd be like, oh, this tastes like this, or this looks like it would taste like that. If it helps any, I feel like asthma inhalers taste like they're yellow. Like the medicine, like if the medicine were a color, it would taste like it's yellow. That's probably as close as I'm gonna get to can I taste colors. I don't. But I know there's kind of some things where I'm like, you know, if this, even though I can't see what the color of this thing is, if I had to guess the color of this thing, it would be this from the flavor that it is. It's been a long time since I've needed an inhaler, but that is something that I do remember and be like, if this were a color, it would be yellow. It tastes like it would be yellow. Oh no, is there not a bed in here? I should really keep that bed on me. It's also dark over here. I didn't put any torches over here. I made it super dangerous. Hello, Co. There is a creeper right there. There's all, oh my goodness, there's so many creepers. We might be getting a few creeper holes in here. Yep. Yeah, I thought we were gonna get at least a creeper hole. No worries. We'll have plenty of dirt. Yeah, like tasting some foods and they taste green. Yeah, okay. That's a really good example because I also experienced that where there's certain flavors that I would consider like it tastes green. Though I guess that one's also difficult to explain. So like green I associate with something that's like tastes like a vegetable or tastes like say like kale or lettuce, or not really lettuce, but like it tastes like a plant. Matcha, yeah, so like matcha tastes kind of grassy compared to vegetal, so they're different, but it tastes like I'm eating the lawn. Like it tastes like I just went up to a tree or a bush and I was just like nom 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 nom. So yes, I understand the like tastes green. There's a few flavors that I would consider taste green because it is closer in the like it tastes like a vegetable or it tastes like the grass, and grass and vegetables can be green. Then there's a whole thing with beets tasting like dirt, but that's just a fact. Beets taste like dirt. Is true. Undeniable, scientifically proven. Beets taste like dirt. Actually, I should probably explain that because like I'm partially sarcastic, but I'm also partially not being sarcastic. Beets, especially red beets. Golden beets don't taste as much like dirt, but especially red beets. They have... What does brown taste like? See, probably, the best I could give you is like... Actually, don't know. If brown were a taste, what would it be? Like, sure, there's chocolate, there's coffee, there's beef, but I wouldn't like, those things are brown, but I wouldn't necessarily say they taste brown. I guess earthy is probably the best. Brown tastes like cardboard. I could also see that. Brown is cardboard and earthiness. I think that's a fair answer. If it tastes like the earth, it tastes brown. What about white? Either something that is plain, that has like no flavor, or I feel like white would be cold. I could see that. Though I'm not sure I would consider cold a flavor. Paper, yeah. What else was it? Something bland and something sweet. Like I'm thinking almost like basically powdered sugar, like white sugar. So just sweet, but there's kind of nothing else. Vanilla ice cream? Yeah, I guess, yeah. So vanilla is also, this is gonna sound weird. Vanilla, I feel like I would also consider to be a brown flavor, and I know that's partially just because it, like, vanilla bean paste is brown, vanilla extract is brown, but it's not earthy, it's very floral. So I guess floral flavors I would consider to be pink. In citrus flavors, I would consider orange or yellow. Wow, these bots are intense today. Wait, did I just accidentally allow that? No, I banned it. If you're plain ice cream, it could be. Oh, yeah. Like milk. Kind of like milk, sweet cream, that kind of thing. That's probably a really good example because it's like it's relatively plain, but it's also sweet. And because it's super fatty, it like kind of coats your tongue and really like smooths things out. I think milk and cream is a great example of something that has like a white flavor. It's just kind of like not generic, but it's like it feels a little plain. Horchata, ooh, horchata's good. I love horchata. It is sweet. It is technically a white food, but would horchata taste like white? I don't know. Because of the cinnamon is so prominent. Did I get everything here? I mean, there's some stuff maybe over here. I feel like there does need to be a little more space around that end of the portal. Because we have all this space to work with, but we don't have a whole lot of space on this end of the portal, which feels a little weird. I mean, if anything, we could put a market here. I will say, trying to associate flavors with colors, I am stretching my brain muscles in that sense, because it's not something that I've thought about, and it's probably now it's going to be something that my brain's going to occasionally think about and be like, what color does this taste like? What have you done to me? Actually, no. It's kind of fun. Anyway, wait. Did I have a point? Ooh, I think I know things. Another flavor that would be brown is something that tastes like you're eating tree bark. Which also kind of goes in the direction of earthy, but like, if I feel like I'm eating the bark of a tree, yes. Like, it tastes woody. Dried foods, I could see that. I could see that. I don't think there's going to be a lot for me to chop down in this area because there's just not a lot of area for me to actually be able to plant things. Builds, sorry. Put builds down. But yeah, associations, flavors. I would love to get into perennials because it seems like a good time investment, and I just feels very on brand. I'd rather something take longer and like put the effort on the front end and then end up with something that will, like, I still, you still take care of it, but it's not like this very short, very intense growing season that it like dies at the end, because you're gonna get like a whole bunch in one sitting, where it might take me a few years, but I get something that I can come back to. Tree bark, wood are fibers used for making cardboard. That's why I said cardboard for brown. Yeah, but I think of cardboard as like bland, and so that's why I'm hesitant to say like paper, cardboard, because I'm like, okay, the things like cardboard is brown, paper is white, but all of those things are kind of tasteless and bland. I mean, they're not tasteless. They taste like the adhesive and the bleaching agents that are used in them, but they're not like sweet, savory, fruity, that kind of thing. So my brain, that's why my brain was going with like, if I feel like I'm eating tree bark because like cinnamon, well, I mean, cinnamon isn't like the outside bark, it's technically like an inner layer of bark, but it has that kind of woodsy flavor. So I didn't think about the fact that chopping down this forest would also mean that it's gonna spawn lots of mobs. Is that like oh no, it's a cow. I thought there were like 3 creepers right next to the bed, and I'm like, what in the world? I was trying to think of things with like flavors rather than similar colors. Because then you have like taste. What's the most funny about the whole conversation is that no one in the conversation has said, have you eaten that? To anything mentioned. What, paper and cardboard? I mean, come on. I think all of us at one point have been curious what paper and cardboard tasted like. No? Well, we all have tried at one point. I mean, how are you gonna know that it tastes bad until you've actually tasted? Like, I know technically, I mean, it didn't have ink on it. I don't think. No, I think, like, yeah, as just a little kid, you're just curious and you're just kind of like, but what does this taste like? What is the texture like? Obviously, I eat things that are food, but why don't we eat paper? And that question is more straightforward. Well, is it more straightforward when you're older? It's more like, that's not its intended purpose. I ate paper. I'd say probably the most interesting thing is what the texture is of paper as you chew it, which is kind of weird. Well, I guess we've now entered the strange part of the stream where some kids liked glue. I liked paper. I have not eaten glue. I am fairly certain that I probably would have absolutely hated the texture of glue. Like the idea of having I don't want that texture. No, thank you. Hard pass. I don't think I ate glue. Understood. I can't remember it. That's also fair. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know all of the things that I've probably tried that weren't food. I mean, glue isn't the grossest thing. There's nastier things. Like quarters and pennies that have touched like everyone's hands. But hey, maybe you'll have a stronger immune system. Ooh. Oh yeah, I had a friend who ate an entire glue stick. I did not try to eat it. Oof. The idea of glue, I can't. The texture is the thing that my brain can't get over. Aside from the fact that, you know, it's not food and I'm sure it wouldn't really taste good. But like the texture is the thing that would probably bother me the most. This is why triple dog dares were invented. You know, is true. I remember a triple dog dare that somebody did. One of them was lick the cafeteria floor. That was not one that I had to do. Actually, I think I was one of those people that I was very like, I wouldn't say like logical. I mean, I guess I am very like, this doesn't make sense, this should be explained, da, 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 da. But it was one of those things where it's like, you know, people do it because they're like, oh, it's fun, it'll, you know, it's weird, sure, but like my brain was like, how many people's shoes have walked across this floor? When was, I mean, guess when it was last time cleaned. It's usually cleaned pretty often, but like when has it been like mopped and disinfected? Like how many people's shoes have walked across it? And for all you know, they could have walked in stuff that's outside and you're just licking all the germs off the floor. Again, probably great for their immune system. give it a little test. But my brain's always like, but yeah, no, big no thank you for me. And how many people reach their hand in that bag or candy jar? Yeah, we love floor seasoning. Yeah. Oh, no thank you. Ugh. But I guess, again, I'm the type of person that I'm like, I like fermented foods, so my brain goes the direction of like, okay, like, good bacteria, there are good bacteria. If you're taking care of yourself, you'll be handled pretty well. So it's not the fact that it's bacteria, it's more that it ain't clean. Though, to be fair, the whole thing of a toilet is cleaner than a table, so it would be cleaner to lick a toilet than a table. I'll take the table any day. I would take the table any day. No, thank you. If that is true, I do not care. I will take the immunity boost from the table. I call it that, especially when my feet are picking up all the tiny crumbs and the place my toes are thoroughly seasoned. Ooh, this is why I wear socks like all the time, because I don't like the feeling of like my feet picking up all of the dirt on the floor. I'd rather have my socks pick up all the dirt. Which is funny, because I love gardening, and I love, like, the feeling of the dirt and the smell of the dirt. I never covered that. I just realized we got all sidetracked on, like, foods, tasting, colors, and whatnot, and I just realized that I didn't explain why beets taste like dirt. Beets taste like dirt because they contain something called geosmin, which gives it the earthy smell and taste. And geosmin is also something that exists in the soil. Geosmin is released when it rains. So that's the smell of petrichor. Part of it. Part of the reason that it smells like soil and plants. I know part of it is also like plants plants also play a role in making up that smell of petrichor, but a piece of it is also geosmin from the soil being released. So when you're like, oh, this tastes like dirt, you're indeed right, because beets contain geosmin, which is the thing that is released from the soil when it rains that makes earth smell earthy. Love that smell of rain. I love that smell. Rain is one of my favorite weather patterns. Rain is rain. I like the smell of rain. I love being cozy indoors. One of the things that, I don't know if I'll do this, but one of the things that I really love and remember is when I played... Which game was it? I had a controller. I can think of the game, but I can't. My brain is... It's such a... Like, people know what the game is. It's just my brain isn't remembering. What was it? Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, yes. I loved playing Hollow Knight when it was like thunderstorming outside because the game is so like kind of dim and ambient. So I love playing Hollow Knight when it's like storming outside. I love it so much. It is a vibe that I absolutely love. And I want to revisit Hollow Knight. Yes, I need to play it soon. It is... I really like it. I should probably replay it at some point because I don't think I've 100% into the game. I think I played through the game and then found out later that there was another ending. That's what I'll leave it at. I did one of the endings and I didn't realize there was a second one because I was just too darn clueless. There was just a lot to discover and I was like, oh, I guess I beat the game. But at some point I want to revisit that. And I also want to play Silksong. Yeah. Actually, I have the game. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play it on stream. And then that didn't happen. Which is okay. But right now, I need to be absolutely locked in to... Isn't there a dirt one? Wait, where's the dirt one? There's a dirt in here. I genuinely thought I had one here that was a whole bunch of dirt. Okay, here's coarse dirt. Let's grab some dirt. Another noted. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. That's it. Wait, was that a genuine question? That could have been a genuine question. It might just my brain sidetracked. I need clarification. Because that's all I saw when I saw Where Are You? And I'm so sorry. No, the sun. Oh, the song. Okay. What else that I need to do? I mean, there's a few holes here and there that I need to fix, and I definitely want to like smooth things out because that's just the way I do things with terrain. But do I continue doing this terrain? I'm thinking. What time is it? How long? I've been streaming for 2 hours? Goodness. And I keep getting sidetracked from my main brain quest, which is just... My main brain quest was... I want to look into more native plants, because even though I know the flavors might seem strange at first because it's just not what you grow up with, I think it is because of the way that I build, my brain is like, yeah, I can do that. Goodness gracious, these are... Sorry, I'm getting lots of bots. I'm surprised that I've gotten this many, frankly, because I don't think I've ever gotten so many bots in one stream. Usually it's like 1 or 2. I've had like 4 or 5 already, and each time they're sending like 2 messages. I don't know if you guys see them. I know I see them. Bunk the bots. We don't mind. Bots go bunk. Bots get the boot. Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh, welcome here. I appreciate the peoples. I don't need cheap views when you can have friends. I like friends. We don't mind most of them. Yeah. Or we don't see most of them. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, because I think basically it's sending them to me so I can see them, kind of like a moderator. Speaking of, why I now have sword. I can't believe that you don't have one. Where? Now I need to... Oh, it's just that button. Wow, they made that button super easy to find. I feel like they changed the placement of that button because that was super easy to find. You are now modded, Melissa. If you don't see the sword and the chicken isn't overriding it, you might have to... Yes, ching! Now you has a weapon. I don't know how in the world I for some reason I thought I already modded you, and I don't understand how you weren't. I genuinely thought you were modded this whole time. Haha, Melissa has a weapon. Yes! Usually Mel usually has a sword in every stream. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I overlooked that. It just hates me. It's going, no. Wrong. Incorrect. Absolute falsehood. We all love Melissa. Melissa is great. Is the bestest. I'm trying to think of other things to talk about now because my brain's like, okay, completed conversation. my brain has nothing else to add. I mean, I guess I could also start get started on decorating. Oh shoot, you know what I just realized? I Food came like over an hour ago and I haven't had that food. Uh I might be able to take a short bio break. She is the best at comment. She boots the bots so fast. Yes. So fast. I'm what so I'm actually quite considering maybe what I do is I take a bio break to eat, and when I'm done, return to stream. I don't think it'll take me that long to eat. It could, I'll be honest, it could be a half an hour. I don't know because I haven't tried timing myself eating. So, time is undetermined. However, I think this is an adequate time to take a bio break. So, while I go take care of myself, you guys should take care of yourselves and go to the bathroom and take your meds if you need to, and hydrate, grab a snack. And if you have to leave, that's totally okay because your health is more important. Fastest bot booter in the West. Absolutely wild. The wild. Never mind. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. That was gonna be an awkward sentence. I just realized that the bed is all the way over there. Gosh darn it. I didn't have it in my inventory. Please, mobs, leave me alone. But yeah, I'm gonna take a hopefully quick bio break to eat, bathroom, hydrate, and if I see you back, hooray. If you guys need to take a break for something or have to leave for a moment, that is totally fine. Because again, your health is what matters. So, see you soon. Okay. Oh, I just realized you can't see anything. Oh, I said okay, okay, okay. Okay, I'm back. I have eaten. So, what do I do next? I could start gathering materials for the interior of this building. Oh wait. Let me think. I think I have a different schematic for this. No. Load schematic. What did I call it? SP final file? I think it's this one. Oh. Oh, and I want to I want to remove this one. I want to do this so I can so I'm rendering it. Am I rendering in layer mode? No, I am not. I'm gonna go into F4. I guess now you're gonna see what it's like for me trying to do this. Okay, it's backwards. Sorry. Okay, we gotta flip it. I think I mirror? Yes. I think that is correct. Then no. Oh wait. Let's not mirror it. Rotation. You can probably see it hesitating. It would hesitate this much even if I maybe a little. Want to make sure it is correctly. Something's wrong. Is it? I think it's 1 too forward. Oops. It's forward by 1 too much. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Placement, configure. Awesome. That's exactly what I want to see. You'll also notice that there are some spots that it's like, this isn't right. This should not be here. I did actually make a few changes. Epic. We have everything that's supposed to be in here. Awesome. Sorry, sometimes I have to clear my throat. Now. Oh no, I don't want to do this yet, just yet. Okay. I do actually have something important first. I need to light up that whole area that I just cleared out because, well, kind of dark over there. I don't even remember what key I press. What key do I press? Is it F3? No. I don't remember. Oh, it's H. Okay. For a second, I was like, I don't remember what key I press to tell me whether or not something is dark or not. I'm gonna really go ham with these frog lights because I might even go like into the wooded areas over here because I know eventually I want to do stuff with it, and I would rather mobs not spawn. Alright, excuse me. I don't know why I have to clear my throat so much. Well, I think I might know, but can't confirm. Technically. Bum 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 bum. There is a chance that if I kind of not like hit a wall, but if there's a point where I'm kind of like, I feel like I've hit enough progress in getting started on stuff here, I might do a little bit of Terraria in that world that I've been playing in. And I say that because I actually made a lot of progress in that world, like a lot of progress. I defeated the Moonlord. I defeated Providence. I defeated Poltergeist. I defeated essentially the minions of Devourer of Gods to make the summon item, which technically you don't have to do, but they do. Some of them drop things that are kind of nice and help you make some upgrades that are kind of nice. And weapons. I like new weapons in Terraria. So I've got a lot of upgrades. Okay, cool. Awesome. I wanna get back to that. But I want to make sure that I actually make progress on this server. Cause well, I meant to do it Monday, but Monday did not go to plan. So I'm now doing it on Tuesday, which is fine. But I also know like I have a lot to finish. So I really like doing exteriors, and I would really like to do a lot of exteriors, but that's something that usually takes me quite a while, and I'm pretty like, it's one of those things that I kind of free flow, like I'm kind of on the fly with. I'll probably have to keep it simpler than I usually do things, just because I would rather it be imperfect and complete than perfect and just super unfinished looking. Absolutely, that's something. This has an end. Terraria is absolutely, that's something. This has an end. Terraria is quote unquote forever. I like, so sorry, excuse me. there's like, we have an end in mind for the season. I don't think we don't have anything like final, but given how long it takes me to complete projects and the amount of things that I want to complete and how long they usually take on top of what I think they're going to take, like usually I'm like, oh, I could do this in whatever amount of time, and then I'm like, actually I'm not going to complete it in that much time. I'm just thinking ahead and realizing that I should really like lock in so that I can finish everything before the end of the season, so I don't feel like I'm scrambling last minute. And at the end of it, I feel like I've completed what I set out to do, even though there have been a few projects that I've had to be like, I can't do that because I know how long, although I don't know how long it's technically going to take, I know that it takes long enough that it's going to take away from other projects that do need to be done. So I'm kind of at the stage where the things I have planned I want to complete and polish. So it feels very like final. I actually have a project. Actually, I wonder if I should check how that is doing. So Chash and Koki are a group. Behold, the lurker. That's me. I'm the lurker. Hello. Hello, Jerry. Welcome. I have been babbling, and actually it's been really fun talking about food and plants, but I have been deforesting a very large area. Now I'm lighting that area up because it's very dark. And basically I am wanting to get started on a lot of the projects that I've had going on mentally, but like haven't gotten to, because I really want to make sure that I get to all the things that I really want to do and really want to complete. So that way I'm not like, oh no, it's so unfinished. I don't want that to be the case. So even if I build less things, I want the things that I built to be complete. Which does remind me, next time I should build smaller. Oh, we got a bot. Shoo. It's been a lot of bots today. They just really like us today. Like, come on. You need my help. No. No. Thank you. I like it here. Nice and calm. Just putting frog lights everywhere. Anyway, sidetrack. Shash and Kogi, one of the things they're doing is they this season, one of the things they're doing is demo dogs, because that's their theme for one of their shops. And the point of it is you can hire them to like dig out areas and whatnot, and then pay them in diamond blocks. Basically, however long it takes depends on how much you pay in diamonds. And if you allow them to have the material, it will cost you less than if you didn't allow them to keep the materials. So I have a really large area that I needed cleared out that I could have technically done myself, but I decided to hire them to do it. And they are working on it. Oops. They are working on it, and I don't remember, but I don't know what the update is with that. Like they're doing it. I don't remember how much of it is complete. It's a really large area, I have to say. It for a bit I was like, oh no, did I make a mistake? Did I just give way too much to do? Because I plan very large, but I also realize that they do actually need the materials from the demo job, so in the long run it does actually work in their favor, because basically I'm supplying materials for something that they plan on doing, so it was not a bad choice. It's just a very large area, and I'll show that in a second, because there's showing the circles not, I don't think, gonna spoil anything, but it'll give you some perspective in how large I build sometimes. I do have an idea for next season. Again, not soon necessarily, but I know that it's gonna sneak up on me, because not that long ago it felt like we just started the season, and now I'm here, and got a lot of things built. Other things that I did not build, but makes me excited. Super happy. Oh, right, and I wanted to show the houses I've been working on for this kind of village area. Suburb. Really, suburb is a better explanation of what it is. Good gracious, I'm gonna need a lot of moss carpet. It shouldn't be an issue though, because, well, moss is pretty easy to get, and Misty sells it. Bum, 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 bum. I definitely got sidetracked. There's a line of thinking I was going with, and I don't remember. Oh, things feeling permanent versus complete with Terraria and Minecraft. Yeah, we have like a definite like end in mind, not like this is the date. Nah, we're still kind of keeping that in mind, because life is crazy. But I know that I need to very much mentally pivot and just be like, I need to make sure the things I want done are done. But if I don't know, am I gonna have the energy to do it? I don't know. Maybe we do. I don't know. For Terraria, I am at the point where I'm fighting Devourer of Gods. So I'm like definitely I'm progressing towards end game in Calamity. At least I would consider it end game. Once you kind of get to like Providence and whatnot, like I would consider that pretty end game. There's only so many bosses left, and all of them can take time to defeat. It really depends. Some people are just really good at the game, and so they kind of like speedrun everything. I'm the type of person that I'm like really, really pushing the limits of my skill set with Terraria. So like I'm usually in a difficulty that it is possible that I won't defeat every single boss. Which, ooh, I didn't mention this, but I found out that Astrogeldon, the one boss that I was trying to fight, I beat it, sort of. The phase that I was fighting last time, I beat that. I also found out that it has a second phase that is absolutely wild. And I was like, man, this is really, really difficult. Like, I wanted to make sure I fought it before Boonlord, because I knew that if I didn't kill it, that I would essentially lose access to it, and I didn't want to lose access to it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna, fight it until I beat it. Well, I fought it quite a few more times and realized in looking up that it is considered a super boss. So, you have normal bosses, which are, the gear and weapons given are balanced in a particular way for the gear that you have, that it's like relatively beatable. But super bosses are intended to be extremely difficult for a certain type of certain point in progression, and that is intentional. Like, it's meant to be extremely difficult. So if you beat it, you get some really good equipment that should last you longer term in the game. So it's kind of a cost benefit. Like, if you put in the effort to defeat a really, really tough boss, and you manage to do that given the progression of the game and the difficulty of the boss, then you get rewarded with some much better equipment that can last you quite a while. So I found that out, and I was like, okay, that's cool. In the second phase, basically it heals all of its health. It gains, I think it's damage reduction. So like I do like 40% of the damage that I would normally do. The phases are like rapid succession. They're absolutely nuts, where like most of the screen is I need to avoid. And it just goes through each of the phases is pretty quick. They all do fairly high damage. The boss takes pretty low damage. You really have to be really, really, really good at the fight, basically. Like, you have to be really good at the fight to beat this boss. Because if you're taking silly hits all the time, you're toast. You basically have to be like mentally pre-guessing what's the next phase, what's the next move, how is that going to, some of the attacks they change like depending on where you are on the screen, and so you have to also know like where to fly after going one direction. Do I have enough time? Do I need more flight time? It's insane. It's a really cool boss, and I would love to one day be able to defeat it. I think I would have to go down like multiple difficulty levels before I'm actually able to beat it, because it's just so rapid fire. My brain just doesn't. Oh, it's just rough. And then basically at the end of the day, it ends up being like a really brutal endurance fight where you just like it's a boss that's a very good example of you gotta just get good. Because it does a lot of damage. It does a lot of rapid fire attacks. You need to learn the boss to the point like you know the back of your hand. Nothing is a surprise. You know what's going to happen next. You know where to move next. And again, it happens in such rapid succession that yeah, it's a super boss. It lives up to its name. So long story short, I didn't beat it. I was like, I'm gonna cut my losses. We're just gonna fight Moonlord and get some upgrades. I was done. I was like, okay, this is a really, really cool fight. I don't want to continue fighting this anymore. Okay, let's go into F4. Okay, there's a spot there. We're pretty good, I would say, with frog lights. The only thing is I haven't lit up the cave or up here on this mountain, so I think I'm gonna get this spot over here, maybe a little bit of the hillside. I don't want to get too much of it because I think we still have to figure out there's something on the mountain that we're thinking of putting there. I don't know where exactly it is going. So I don't necessarily want to light up the whole hill. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It's not gonna hurt. I have a stack of frog lights. If we go through all the frog lights, that's fine. Just a little harder to navigate. Anyway, I think the point was... Oh wait, I have to cough. Throat got dry. Yeah, the fight was very tough, and I was like, I recognize that this is out of my I'm out of my depth. So it's like, okay, that's fine. I'll probably, if I want to defeat it, I'll probably go down a few difficulties, but oh, by the way, this is the insane cave that we have. It's super cool, and we want to use it for something. Had a few working ideas, but I think we have an idea that will make it really cool. Oh my goodness, I'm getting a headache. Ooh, big cave. It really is a really cool cave. We saw it and we were like, ooh, I don't know what we're gonna do with that, but that would be really cool to do something with. And I think we've got an idea. It wasn't what I had a plan in mind at first, but then I was kind of like, I don't think I would enjoy it as much as the amount of effort that it would take. I'm very like, if it takes a lot of effort, I really want to really like it. If I get to the end of it and I'm kind of like, this is kind of meh and this took loads of effort, I end up being like, well, I don't really like it because the effort wasn't really worth it. So I think I'm glad that I didn't end up going that direction, not because I don't think it would have been a fun idea, but it wasn't fleshed out enough in a way that I would have felt like it was worth the effort. And one of the ideas we have, I think, is a nice balance of the two, where it'll be enough effort that it'll look really cool. Like, this is a really cool cave. Do I go down? I'm gonna go down for a second. I'm gonna have to be careful, because as you can see, there's lots of dark areas and a creeper. Okay. So there's kind of this section of the cave that's really open. Let me press H. There's this section of the cave that's really open. And then that section. Then we have this kind of land bridge with the stalactites and a few stalagmites. There's technically, if we go out and around that way, that is a section of lush cave that it goes around and underneath us. So this, in a way, this is also kind of a land bridge. It's more of a tunnel underneath, but the lush cave goes across and under, so it's really interesting. Then do we have any axolotls down here? I don't see any axolotls. That is something that I'm gonna need at some point. I'm gonna need axolotls. Look, there's a tree here! I don't... Oh, that might... Is that natural? I don't know if that naturally spawned here. Because obviously there's a crafting table, some stuff here. Got a lot of tropical fish. This is a really cool cave. So... Okay, I think that's it. So that's where that is. It's on top of the mountain. Might have some ideas. Oh, it's hitting a... Ooh, massive, beautiful cave. Yes, it is a wonderful cave. I'm thinking now because I've lit up the area and I can tell my brain is tired. And I don't want to overdo it, because if I overdo it today, then that means I'll do less tomorrow. I want to be a little more consistent. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it here. I think I've hit the 3 hours and my brain is like, my brain is toast. Next time, I want to start getting materials for the interior of the monorail building. I wanted to finish chopping down all those trees because I had started that before, and I wanted to finish it. Next time, I'm hoping to get started on the interior of this building. Because I've got a lot, like there's a lot planned in these layers that I really like. I know the staircases are kind of funky. Cool, it was awesome to see some things at CraftWorks. It was very fun. Oh, you know what I should do? Before I forget, I think I am gonna end the stream because my brain has hit that time of day where it's definitely time. It's definitely time for me to kind of relax and take a break. It's possible that I might work on the Terraria world a little bit. If I end up completing it, I may not immediately jump into a new world, because I think I want to change a few of the mods there. Actually, I should be in F5. I might change a few of the mods just to kind of make things run a little more smoothly. I know I have a lot of building mods in there. I probably don't need all of them because I just don't end up using all of them, since my brain kind of focuses mostly on Calamity. I think my brain excuse me, my original intention was to have kind of a dual purpose mod pack where it was like Calamity, but also like lots of building elements, but I don't end up using it, so it probably doesn't make sense for me to run a whole bunch of mods that I don't end up touching. There are some building blocks and elements that I'll use, but I think I might have to go through those mods and nix a few just to make things run more smoothly. Anyway, let me see. Oops. I want to check something. We've got Kim and Jax, who's playing all the Mons, which I've raided into her stream a few times. I think I want to raid into Curtis though, because he is working on a magic data pack for Minecraft, because he does data pack things, and he's working on I'm adding a wizard tower to my magic data pack. So it looks like he might be working on structures right now. There's some other cool things, and then I think eventually when he finishes it, not like he's finishing it today, when he eventually finishes it, I think he releases these. I might have to double check on that. I'm pretty sure. But he works on data packs, and it's super fun. Okay, data packs are so cool. It is. He like kind of bounces between like doing the code portion, and it's cool. Eventually one day I want to learn, but so yeah, I think I'm gonna send you over to Curtis now that I've finished chopping down the forest. I want to thank everyone very much for joining the stream. It was a 3-hour stream. Generally, I try to keep my streams 3 hours because by the 3-hour mark, my brain kind of just like that one 6-hour stream was a very unique circumstance that I was able to talk for that long. That's not usually the case. Usually I hit 3 hours and my brain's like, no, work done here. So anyway, I want to thank you very much for being here. I'm gonna raid into Curtis's stream. I just realized that I accidentally changed my tab, but that's fine because I need to go into a different tab anyway. We're gonna raid Curtis. If I can press the right thing. Okay, data packs are cool. Yes. Sorry, I was just checking that I read everything because sometimes I miss things. I am clicking all the wrong buttons. Okay. I will see you later. Bye. Start raid. We raid. Oh wait, I have to wait a few seconds. Raid. Have a wonderful rest of your day.